Welcome to another episode of Do You Even Resonate? In this show, we take two fierce competitors and put their messaging in front of the target audience and see who resonates better. And I'll also do a messaging teardown looking at the following messaging heuristics and see what I can find. So in this episode, we have two competitive intelligence giants, Klue versus Crayon. So these companies, you might not have heard of, but these are very successful companies. So Klue has here, 182 employees. So if we assume $100,000 of revenue per employee, puts them around 18 million, versus Crayon has around 160 employees. So that means, 16 million. So more or less similar size. All right. So let's look at their messaging. So here we go. Starting with Klue. Competitive enablement that wins business is the headline. All right. My first question is, what is competitive enablement? So I researched on Twitter. Let's see how many, what's the latest vote count here. And only 22% of this small sample size survey say that they know what competitive enablement is. And so, yeah, they need to explain it. I'm fine with companies inventing their own category and I'm this unique type of product, and you should do that, and that's completely fine. In fact, it's smart to do that, but you need to spell it out. What is it? If I don't understand what is competitive enablement, I will make assumptions and likely wrong ones. And wins business, that's kind of vague, kind of vague. Can do better. Collect, curate, deliver competitive intelligence. That's pretty good. Demo again. I like demos, except I hope the demo does not, that you don't assume that I need to watch the demo, because most people don't watch the demo. 100,000 users rely on Klue to crush their competitors. Yeah, that sounds a little violent. If I were to venture a guess, I would think that this was written by a male in their 20s. These aggressive men. My advice to Klue would be why don't you get your one of the female colleagues, and then how would they write this line? Testimonials, great. The number one rated competitive enablement software. So what I say to that reminds me of this meme that I made the other day, where it's like, if you rename your category to be, something where you're the only one in that category, then you can be number one too. So it's kind of weird, because if you look at these statements, like none of them say competitive enablement. So that's just a little fun poke here. Connected competitive intelligence, good, as opposed to what? So it's vague. It's not specific. You can do so much better than this. Specificity, fuel better decision making across organization. And again, you guys are not a decision-making software, right? It's competitive intelligence. You can say something that's way more resonant and relevant to the intended audience here. It makes it easy to do blah, 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 blah. That's pretty good. This screenshot, okay, I recognize, the data sources, even though offline files, and they feed into what exactly is happening here? So I think it's not a bad graphic, because I can see that something is flowing into something else, but I think you can do better. Competitive tracking made easy. That's pretty good. I understand what it is, but made easy exactly how? No more Intel slipping through the cracks. So if you surveyed all the CI people and I'll say, hey, what's your number one problem? So, it's the Intel slipping through the cracks. If that's true, then congrats, you nailed it. Otherwise, if that's not a number one thing, I would not lead with that. And so how exactly is competitive tracking made easy? Let's look at this very helpful screenshot, except it's not helpful at all, because it has no real data. It's just a silly mock-up. It looks great, but it's content-wise, it's pretty useless. Same with better cards for easy and effective distribution. Oh, that's great. I love this subhead. It's pretty specific. Let's see how the better cards are easier. Oh, actually, I cannot see it again, because, use dummy data. Show what it would actually look like. One thing I've learned with Winter is that people want to see actual screenshots. Right? Report on the real impact. Oh, I would love to report on real impact. Let's see what that looks like. Again, I cannot see what that looks like. And then they have a bunch of things and want to see Klue in action. And okay, great. Okay. Next up, we have Crayon. And Crayon says, compete like you mean it. Not sure what that is. We're an award-winning. Who cares about award-winning competitive intelligence? Okay, that's fine. Sustainable business advantage also like seems too lofty in my opinion. Let's look at this image. Multiracial people, check. Looking at the laptop, check. Coffee on the table, check. Means cheesy stock photography, check. Gotta do better. Logos go beyond battle cards for more impactful approach. I like that, especially since Klue was saying that they do battle cards. So this goes beyond them. So let's see how they go beyond. Track, analyze, activate. What? So this is a classic mistake where internal product names are brought onto the website, and you think that this will illuminate and help people. Most people only read subheads and nothing else. So the subhead, the track, instead of saying track, you should say in a single line the whole point about tracking. So sum up the says in a sentence. Very few people will read the explanation of it. And the icons here, read the Norman Nielsen study on icons, icon usability. Icons must first and foremost communicate meaning. I don't think that's happening over here. Icons are just bad. We're the undisputed champion of CI software. Look at Forrester, PMA, G2. Weren't we just looking at Klue? And if I remember correctly, look at that. Forrester, G2, PMA. Undisputed champion? I don't think so. And as soon as I catch you saying one false thing, I'm going to now doubt the whole thing. Just don't avoid brash superlatives like that. Not cool. Okay, join the blog. Oh, a big logo wall. Actually, I kind of like this is a kind of a statement. Like, emotionally, I think it does. It does something. Way more data, way weird capitalization, less time. And how? What? Again, fake screenshot. Separate Intel from noise. Oh, how do you do that? I think it's a great subhead. How do you do that? I ask. And then they start saying, well, talk about all these negative things. Instead, they should be saying, how are they doing this? And you can separate with these. Oh, it's the same as the headline. Combine what? And screenshot also doesn't explain it. Get your team ready for battle. Again, this violent language. Testimonials, blog. All right. And request a customized demo as opposed to like, I don't personally like this request a demo language because it seems like they're in the power position and who likes to feel less powerful. I don't know. Also, certain other things here. So, for instance, if you look at some of the sentences you use here, you can automatically tap into more. Like if I put this in the Hemingway editor, it says it's very hard to read because you don't need to even use Hemingway. I can just see the sentence and it's hard to read, right? All right, who won this battle? All right, drum roll. Brum. And we're going to test with Winter, and with 58% more people out of product marketing managers preferred Klue. And so what did they prefer here? They like seeing screenshot. They want to see screenshot. They included photograph of the tool. I want to see. They actually didn't, but they fooled people into thinking it. Messaging was more clear. CTAs were clearer. Both pages kept mentioning. Still a bunch of unclear and a bunch of things. Okay. Crayon page doesn't show what the interface looks like. Exactly as I was saying. Like screenshots matter. Explains what it is. Crayon saying unclear what Intel report would give. Highlighting scalability. I like this headline better than the compete like you mean it. I think so too. Crisp. Copy is clearer. Some people who liked Crayon, what did they like? They liked the opening creates a punch. Compete like you mean it. They felt it packs a better punch. This person as well. And subheadline and copy. I think Crayon had a potential for a better headline because it's understandable language, but it's still so vague. I think both companies can do with a better punchline here. Headline strong, snapper headline, straightforward value proposition. Compete like you mean it is better than competitive enable that means business. I think this would win business, but yeah. All right, there we go. Peace.